for Piastri, Williams, and McLaren.
Honestly,
One has
the white Williams is kind of clean, you know, now that I think about it. It's a pretty clean car. What is going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with a new video, and today we're going to take a look at why F1 soon-to-be driver, F1 incoming driver, Oscar Piastri, has rejected Alpine outright. He's pretty much put a kibosh on joining Alpine. Everyone thought he was going to join either Williams or Aston Martin because obviously both of those teams have Vettel retiring, and then, you know, Williams with Albon and Latifi, not the best pairing. They haven't fared their actually best. Albon had like a slight glimmer of hope, I feel like, early in the season by just doing one-stop strategies. That has since sort of worn away and they can't even get out of Q1. Latifi actually did good recently, but anyway, neither one of them are going to get them because Fernando Alonso is going to go to Aston Martin, and with Fernando Alonso leaving, Alpine immediately thought that they were going to get the new up-and-coming prodigy, the F2 champion from 2021, Oscar Piastri, and he's completely rejected them. And I think news came out today that he will be going to McLaren, and that McLaren, after just pretty much the last couple of weeks reaffirming Daniel Ricciardo's spot, and pretty much giving him like clarity and insurance to that, because he's been absolutely awful in the car, if I may add. He seems like a man that's just low on confidence. This isn't going to help his confidence at all, because he's going to get outed from McLaren. It's going to be Oscar Piastri to take a seat, the fellow Australian. And I don't know any more than that. So I'm gonna kind of, you know, we're watching the video today so I can understand why Oscar Piastri rejected Alpine in favor of McLaren when Alpine had a wide open seat and is a good car. It's a great car. I think him versus Ocon would have been great battles. Him versus Lando definitely gives him more time to develop. But okay, let's get into the video. As well, guys, you can find the original video down in the description below. Let's get into the video.
Definitely kept us all entertained just as the summer break begins. Alpine announced Piastri as their driver for the 2023 season, and the 21-year-old Aussie opened up to the world, denying Alpine's statement. Why?
He's only 21? Honestly, this kind of adds to, what is it, his legend in F1. Like the fact that he outright rejected McLaren.
Stick around until the end to find out the real reason. The Piastri and Alpine's controversy first started when Alpine was supposed to send Piastri to Williams. This was part of an agreement that would see the British constructors use Renault engines beginning next season. The Australian champion in F2 should have replaced Nicolas Latifi, so he would gain knowledge and then replace Fernando Alonso, who was supposed to proceed with his agreement with Alpine until 2024. Then came the shocking news of Sebastian.
So did Vettel start all of this? Is it going to be Vettel that started all of this? Because I feel like he did, but at the same time he didn't mean to.
Reporting his retirement, and from that point on, everything turned into a wreck. While everyone predicted that Hülkenberg or Schumacher would be the main legitimate substitute for Vettel, it happened all of a sudden that Alonso was to replace the four-time title holder in Aston Martin. But again, this isn't something unreasonable to expect, as Alonso has had a terrible time with Ocon and Alpine overall. The Spaniard was battled with reliability issues,
he's been so good in the car.
Ocon hasn't helped him when he was a lot slower. This meant Alonso couldn't work on his focus and his performance much in Alpine, which is the main reason why he's so low on points this season. Alonso said that it wouldn't take him over 10 minutes to arrange an arrangement with Alpine if they somehow happened to call him for an extension of the arrangement past 2022. It seems like Aston Martin was faster to pull the trigger on the two-time title holder, as Alonso chose to accept the offer to race for the British group with poor leadership. Alpine then announced that Piastri would replace Alonso from 2023 and beyond, but the young driver went on Twitter to boast that he would not drive for Alpine in the next season, saying, "I understand that. Without my agreement, Alpine F1 have put out a press release late this afternoon that I'm driving for them next year. This is wrong, and I have not signed a contract with Alpine for 2023. I will not be driving for Alpine next year," said.
The fact that he also, like, he could have just dropped that release and been like a day or two later, I'm still driving with Alpine. But like the last sentence that he put on this, "I will not be driving for Alpine," pretty much was like the nail in the coffin. It's like, okay, well then where are you going?
Piastri. Now, why would a young and prospective driver like Piastri deny a place in a team that is challenging McLaren for the P4 spots in the championship this season, and a team that does have decent machinery to be the best of the rest? It's very likely that Oscar Piastri has already secured a spot on another team. That would be the most logical explanation for why he's denied Alpine, the team that mentored him for 4 years and the team that he managed to win F3 and F2 titles with. He was, and still is, the reserve driver for the team, and was kind of disappointed when he couldn't receive a place for the 2022 season. The deadline for Piastri's clause to be activated and confirm him as an Alpine driver expired on July 31st, according to rumors. Important thing, because Alpine had missed the chance to sign Piastri by then, and it would be only logical for him to go and search for another team, as he and his manager,
he was definitely on that search. He did that search fully.
This was around the period when Alonso announced that he'd leave the team for Aston Martin, and Alpine kind of dropped the ball here, with them being shocked by Alonso's decision. They didn't focus enough on Piastri, and that could very well be the reason why he has decided to look for another team. One more motive behind Piastri's choice to not claim the offered seat in Alpine is...
You want to know what, like, the worst part of it all is Alpine pretty much copied Chelsea. They didn't secure Fernando Alonso long term. Like, they didn't offer him the terms that he wanted. Which is what Chelsea did with Rudiger and Christensen. And then the young prodigal son that they wanted, Koundé in this instance, decided to go for a more prestigious team in McLaren over the team that helped get him there. Which, I mean, Koundé never was like a Chelsea guy in the first place. But, you know, you guys get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
2022 season. Alonso was in his 40s, and even though he is an extremely capable and great driver at that age, Piastri felt like he ought to have been allowed that spot. All things considered, he just emerged from a title seat.
He kind of did earn the spot. He kind of did earn that. So, I'm not really mad. I'm not really mad at that.
He's in an F2, and he won the F3 classification, so you shouldn't blame him for having such exclusive standards. In any case, him passing up the 2022 seat could very well be the trigger point regarding the reason why he needs to race for another group. Piastri might have consented to an arrangement with another group prior to this season, like McLaren or Williams, and they could very much consent to keep things calm for some time. Piastri needed to intervene because Alpine had declared him the driver next to Ocon, and he needed to get the rumors shut down as soon as possible. If you think about it, these weren't rumors, but an official statement from Alpine, making this whole thing even more controversial. Two teams that are eager to get Piastri are Williams and McLaren. Well, most teams were eager to get him prior to the 2022 season, but as an Alpine reserve driver, it was only natural for him to commit to this team. However, it's very possible that Piastri believed that Alonso would continue his agreement with Alpine until 2024, and that was too much for him to wait to enter the F1 car.
They were screwed either way.
After all, who could blame him? More bizarrely, that's what Alpine thought too. According to them, they found out about Alonso's agreement with Aston Martin from the media itself, not from the Spaniard. Of the two teams that are rumoured to be the best landing spots for Piastri, Williams and McLaren,
honestly,
one has...
The white Williams is kind of clean, you know, now that I think about it. It's a pretty clean car.
The potential to cause a massive shake-up for the 2023 drivers' lineup. If McLaren decides to pull the plug on Piastri and sack Ricciardo, although the owner has a contract until the end of the next season, that could very well be a reunion between Ricciardo and Renault. After all, why not? He brought podiums to the team when they were struggling a lot, and it seems like his tenure at McLaren, although he's very optimistic about it, is far from perfect. According to Paul Di Resta, this could be the only reason why Piastri will reject his guaranteed seat in Alpine, who also spoke about Alonso's departure, saying, "It's very odd. I think the whole paddock was caught by surprise yesterday, going into the summer break when the silly season starts with driver contracts. Fernando going to Aston, I hadn't heard it anywhere. I don't believe my colleagues had either, and it also caught Otmar Zafnauer by surprise. That has led on to what has happened obviously with Piastri, who has been an Alpine junior. They have been lobbying him, saying how good he is and where that seat is going to come up, and even trying to place him within the Formula 1 paddock because he's an asset to them in the future."
Kind of like what Mercedes did with George Russell.
I find it very surprising that he's rejecting a team that is on the top 4 and a great upward trajectory, that you wouldn't want to drive for them. That could only mean that he has got another seat secured somewhere else. Where is he going to be driving? Is it McLaren? Is it Williams? You have got this junior who is so highly rated on the back of what he has done in the junior categories, and to sit him on the sidelines and now have him racing and invest all this testing in various different circuits, putting him in a car was what Alpine wanted, but obviously he feels he's going to be driving somewhere else. He has obviously taken that decision, thinking that Alonso was staying, and it did feel like he was part of the furniture, and it was going to be the obvious thing that he continued to go on. Finish di resta. Piastri could very well be disappointed with the way Alpine's strategy works too. For example, we've seen how Ocon has compromised the races of Alonso when he was much slower than him on multiple occasions, such as in Jeddah and Hungary. Another reason is that Piastri could have been promised preferential treatment, or at least equal treatment with another.
I feel like he wants to be treated like Max. Like, Red Bull knew what they had when they had Max Verstappen. He just wanted to be treated the same way. And I think that's the entire bit of it. But that's just me. But, I mean, if he goes to Williams, he's going to get that preferential treatment. If he goes to McLaren, I feel like their eggs are in Lando's basket. But McLaren's the better car. McLaren's the car that can compete with Alpine. My question is, who replaces Piastri and Alonso now in the Alpine seat? Because if you're not going to put all your eggs in Ocon's basket, which they haven't, while Fernando Alonso's been there, who do you then replace them with? Daniel Ricciardo? Like, do you just flip-flop and send Piastri to McLaren and then Ricciardo to Alpine? Or, like, what do you do? I don't even know. But, okay, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.